Andretti and Cadillac have announced that they want to join F1 together. This is great news for a lot of fans of the sport. Finally, there is an 11th team on the grid. A lot of people are really excited by the announcement, including the FIA. The FIA president has talked high praises about the possible new team and really wants to welcome them to the sport. So with the FIA on board, this all should be a run course right. Andretti is joining F1. Well, no. There is still a real possibility that this team will not enter Formula 1, even though they check all the boxes. For teams to join F1, they have to meet certain standards. Not everyone can join the sport, because bad teams can do the sport more harm than good. So to be eligible to join the grid is hard, but certainly not impossible. A new team should contribute to the sportive side of the sport, but also to the commercial side. In the end, people want to make money. So how does Andretti stack up to these requirements? Well, Andretti is one of the biggest racing teams in the United States. It has won multiple championships in IndyCar, and Mario Andretti even won a Formula 1 championship. So there is a lot of knowledge, and the team is run by a real racing family. We can expect them to make a good racing car to compete in F1. Then there is the commercial side of things, but this is a box that the team has also checked. The sport is growing a lot over the last years, especially in America. We'll have 3 races in America from next season, and the races in Austin and Miami were very well received by the American fans. So to have a big American name to join the sport is commercially very interesting by itself. But F1 wants to attract car manufacturers to the sport because they have proven to be more committed for the long term, financially stable, and have a bigger commercial impact. To check this box, Andretti has joined forces with Cadillac, one of the biggest car brands of America, and is of course part of General Motors. So commercially, this is a very attractive team to have on the grid and will help the sport grow in the United States even more. So why might they still not join Formula 1? To join F1, a team has to be approved by the FIA and the F1 teams. And that is the big issue. Because the F1 teams don't want another team to join the grid, it will cost them prize money. To counter this, a new team has to pay $200 million that is divided evenly over the existing teams. But in the long term, the teams will lose more than $200 million to that new team, except if they have a really big commercial impact. The teams are afraid that they will lose too much money, so they are against a new team. The teams claim that the $200 million is not enough to compensate, even though they agreed on the number a few years ago. The sport has grown too much, so the $200 million should be raised, but that can't be done until after 2025. So they prefer to not let anyone join. They claim that a new team won't contribute enough to the sport, which we just claimed it probably will. The teams have a lot of power in this matter, which makes it a really tough job for Andretti. But is it even fair from the teams? Formula 1 does have a budget cap these days. Teams can't spend $300 million a year, but are only allowed to spend $140 million. F1 has done a lot to make the sport more interesting for new teams and the current ones, especially financially. The costs of the teams do have a ceiling now, so it is not fair to hold off new teams because of financial reasons. Andretti might be the most interesting team to join F1 in a long time. It has a great technical partner in Cadillac, allegedly has an engine deal with Honda, and is one of the biggest names in motorsport. If Andretti and Cadillac can't join F1, who can? 10 teams is the bare minimum for Formula 1, so to have one team joining that looks very promising is good for the sport. Andretti is ready for F1 and will help the sport grow. We just have to hope that the teams will act in the interest of the sport. How do you feel about Andretti and Cadillac? Should they join F1? Or are the teams right to hold them off? That is all we got for you this time, but we will be back with more soon. If you liked this video, please click like. If you want to stay up to date on the latest F1 news, please subscribe to our channel. If you want to watch another video, click on the box to the left. We will see you next time.